episode 12 of the No Cap Sports Podcast.
Back at it like a crack addict, you feel me?
Something like that. So, I mean, I think we should go on and address the elephant in the room, Josh.
Man,
How you feeling, bro?
man, I heard the news, bro. So Raw Wages started playing as soon as I heard it. Like, Mama told me it would rain when it's pouring. Man, that's crazy. For folks that don't know, Swag just announced yesterday that we're going to be postponing, not canceling, postponing all fall sports to the spring. So, man, I just can't. I'm just trying to envision myself playing football in Texas in April. Like, it ain't hit me yet. It will, though. It will. It ain't real right now.
So that heat stroke hit you.
Oh, God.
Man, for real.
But it ain't hit me yet either. It's just like, you play football. You know, like, as football players, you play football every fall.
Yeah.
And now they have a season where you're not going to be playing in the fall. It's like, what I'm going to do?
What was the last time you was in the fall when I was playing the sport? When I was playing football?
Last time in the fall I didn't play football was 6th grade.
Man.
Because 7th grade was my first year playing football, so 6th grade was my first time.
It was 2nd grade for me, bro.
Man,
oh my God.
Like, what am I really going to be doing? Like,
school.
Nah.
But then again, I ain't going to have no motivation to do school.
I was about to say, nah.
Especially during the fall.
The workouts. The workouts about to be killer, bro.
But,
Oh, me, because they know we're not coming back we're not going to be playing no real football till January.
Bro, especially for the seniors, bro. Just imagine how the seniors going to be.
Exactly.
I know they hurt for sure.
Like, I want to be done with it in the fall. I'm not trying to do one more, extra semester.
Term, yeah.
Working out. That's dead, bro.
but, and it's like, I know for us, I don't know how y'all doing it, but like, they basically closed our whole workout facility. Like, we can't even go in there.
Oh, wow.
So everything we could be doing on the field, pretty much.
Push-ups, sit-ups.
Exactly.
No.
They gonna roll the TV. They gonna roll the TV in that like elementary school. Put the workout on. We're gonna be looking stupid.
Man,
headbands.
I'm all talking about. It was the best day in elementary. You see that car get wheeled in, that wheel come from down the hallway. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a good day. We watching some in class.
Yeah.
But man, now they had told us we just had a team meeting this morning. We're reporting back for football January 3rd. I can't remember. They talked about us starting to get to camp like March 26th.
Yeah.
Man.
26th.
I'm saying, bro.
Wait, that's camp?
I think so. Cause I did the first game, April or May or something like that.
Wow.
It's still a long way away. They got some other details, but just like your initial reaction, that's what I was like.
But bro, I just don't understand how you're gonna do a camp with academics, bro. Like, the purpose of camp is to focus on football.
Exactly.
You know? So,
last camp, they drop your classes. Nobody's having classes during camp.
What?
No, for sure. We had to drop classes. Oh, they wasn't paying for them. I was like, man, they're not that important to me.
So you can't take no classes at all during camp?
Not really. They're like, if you didn't graduate, they'll let you take them. Like, you're seeing like the last 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But nah. Drop all your classes for summer 2 before camp. I can hear that.
Oh, I thought you was talking about like in March. I was like, I'm gonna drop classes in March.
No. They would. It's the swag.
Yeah.
They probably. Okay, I know you're here to play. You're here for school, but hey, it's football time. They been saying that in the meeting. They was like, "Yeah, I know y'all want to make money, but it's time out for that. Time out for money, man."
Yeah, y'all tweaking. I ain't getting no stipend.
I was just about to say, are you paying?
Oh yeah.
So man, I don't know. It's a dilemma for sure.
Yeah. So I guess we finna flip it over. Like, it just seems like everything in football right now is going crazy. Even professionally, you got, like I said, we just talked about colleges canceling, and on the professional side, it seems things have gotten pretty wild as, all the allegations about the football team in Washington have come out.
Man, I seen that, bro. Washington is just taking L's, glizzies, assaulting females in the
They be taking glizzies.
Hey, chill out, bro. The views and opinions of Vance Law do not reflect.
Oh, God. Vance Law is his own person when it comes to this.
Wow.
No. Don't put that on me.
Dude is mad wild.
Do not put that on me, bro.
They probably are.
I'm just repeating what you said.
I didn't say a word.
So they taking L's and glizzies. That's all I heard, bro.
They cap, though.
Yeah, but on a serious note, though, it's the Washington Post, posted an article, expose, letting everybody know what was going on, and 17 women, employees and reporters said they were sexually harassed or verbally assaulted by senior members of the Washington organization, bro.
That's crazy. That whole organization is just from top down. Obviously, you see the owner, Dan Snyder, he just sets a horrible example. It is just such a toxic culture, like, where something like that continues to thrive. This how many years that went on? How many years?
It was a long time.
Yeah, they said it's been going on for a while. Because you got to think about it was 2018 that the story came out about the cheerleaders' 2013 trip to Costa Rica.
Oh wow!
When they were it was they said something.
I do remember reading something about that.
Yeah, they said it was a photo shoot in Costa Rica. The cheerleaders got their passports taken, so they had no power.
Man!
Exactly.
That's crazy.
They were supposed to be shooting pictures for a calendar. Wasn't supposed to be nude pictures at all. But
they took their passports?
Yes, bro.
Wow.
When they got there, they took their passports. Yikes. That's a power move.
I'm saying
that basically renders you powerless, bro. You can't do nothing because if you
can't leave.
Exactly.
You can't go nowhere. Wow.
And you can't even do nothing.
Dan Snyder's out here tripping.
Yes, bro. Well, Dan Snyder wasn't really involved in this. That's what they say.
I was about to say, he knew it. He gets the NCAA, accountability factor.
Yeah, but like I said, cheerleaders had to be topless, things like that. And they were basically pimping them out, giving them the sponsors who came on the trip.
Some Epstein shit.
Exactly.
What is going on?
And, after that happened, though, Dennis Green, the president of business operations at the time, resigned. But this is, you can tell this has been a long-going thing in the Reds.
This is what the BS that women had to deal with to get it almost any type of professional setting. Talking about,
I agree.
Sports, but also, a lot of the Me Too movement, which, I find a little questionable now because there's so many people coming out, but the origins of people women really have to deal with a lot of intense sexual pressure and even non-sexual intimidation factors to get to be successful, and that's really disheartening. I can't lie, and especially the way they took their passports. You're rendered to basically child status, basically.
And like you said, how it's hard to be successful in the industry, without facing this kind of pressure and unwelcome advances. 17 women, bro, and only one was able to come out and say who she was.
And that's only the ones that reported.
Exactly.
So you got to think about how many still are still scared to voice their opinion
because they know, bro.
Because it's an industry.
Nothing's gonna come out of it. So they thinking somebody a millionaire like Dan Snyder, bro.
A billionaire.
Yeah, ain't nobody gonna care what I'm talking about. If that's that's what the lady is thinking.
Yeah,
exactly. And you also got to think about some women are still working in the industry, so if they come out and say it, they might face
immediately losing your job.
Yeah, exactly. Even though they don't work for the team, but you somewhere in the industry, you can face consequences.
I'm saying
just from
that's just simply not right.
Exactly.
They said he's paid off NFL officials to fix games, and some refs have made over $2 million from Snyder. He's also not the only owner to pay NFL officials. Well, we know how the Patriots coming, so that's another team. I mean, don't act like the Patriots not cheating.
Gate.
The Patriots don't get you Robert Kraft.
We was watching a little commercial, but we thought recording, and man, I ain't gonna lie, the football, it wasn't looking a little blown up. He said, that's the Patriots ball right there.
They said Redskins running back Cabri Bibbs was sleeping with the same girl when Gruden found out he got petty and benched Bibbs. During that game, he got benched. His replacement missed the block, and that resulted in Alex Smith's career-ending injury.
Wow. Man. This ain't nothing but the shade room.
Yeah,
behind some football.
Bro, this is worse than the Saints Donnie Yay, bro. So Gruden should get kicked out of the NFL.
It was Gruden and the running back, they were dating the same girl?
Yeah, they were just sleeping.
Oh, they were sleeping.
Yeah,
big difference. Man, and he was like, nah, you ain't getting my job. Go ahead and second string. That's crazy. That first of all, that is some player hating by Gruden. I can't do that's some level 401 player hating.
Yeah.
And it's dang, look at the ramifications. Just that quickly. Man.
Yeah.
Gruden and Snyder should be banned from the league, bro.
Honestly.
That's what you think the
punishment give them that Donald Sterling treatment.
The death penalty.
So you think Snyder should be
there's some other billionaires out there that could run the risk.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, but I feel like
they suck anyways.
I was about to say they're not winning nothing.
I feel like it's fair to put pressure on Snyder, but we gotta remember he wasn't directly involved in any of the harassment or anything. Like out of all of the
But
allegations,
you don't feel like he enabled the coach a little bit?
I agree. Like that's what I was gonna say. Like I feel like as the head, you own the team. You know to a degree what's going on in the dailies. But like I do feel like they should face some punishment because a lot of the women said like the human relations department was understaffed and like he publicly belittled employees, like just like getting on them like in public, like making them feel less than. You know what I'm saying?
So
They
what do you
couldn't
think
have
the
no
punishment
black
should be?
employees. Couldn't have no black women working there because the black one would have really snapped on it.
I mean, I think
Man.
first of all, you just gotta weed everybody out who was involved in this harassment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like so far, Alex Santos, Richard Mann, and Larry Michael have already lost their jobs. And like I said, Dennis Green left the team after the
Is
allegations
that
came
former
out about.
Bears coach Dennis Green?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
You really got to clean house, honestly.
But I feel like whatever the punishment is, it shouldn't affect the players on the field. That's how I feel.
Sure. Yeah.
Because like this is all front office stuff that has nothing to do with the team itself.
Go ahead and find Dan Snyder
I
a
agree.
exuberant amount of money. Amount of money that ain't even affect
You gotta give him the death penalty.
you. Really can't
That like Dan
because
Snyder
really
should not
money, because money is nothing to him, honestly.
be. Exactly.
So
What would you do, Nick? What would you do?
I feel like a fine and a suspension is enough.
How long of a suspension, bro?
I say suspend them for the season, maybe. Like suspend him to where he's not making money off the team, all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because I feel like what he did was bad, but he can't be held as accountable as everybody who's actually participating in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like I will say, like even the girls like said like Dan Snyder wasn't even really in the building like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's just the owner, so he doesn't really play that much of a role in the day-to-day operations of the team.
So what about Joe Paterno? Do you think like when they gave him the death penalty, they took everything away from him?
But I mean, there was a lot of stuff saying like Joe Paterno knew. You know what I'm saying?
But Dan Snyder knows, bro. We know Dan Snyder knows.
I'm not gonna sit up here because like even the women said I highly doubt Dan Snyder knew. They named.
I think the only thing I would say, man, 'cause I understand what you're saying, but the infrastructure of a college football team, there's just so many
especially
more,
as a head coach.
there's just so many more people involved between player level and ownership level. There, I mean, I'm definitely gonna say that he deserves punishment. He was an enabler, but I can see a scenario.
So Snyder don't know that his cheerleaders, the cheerleaders on his team were in another country.
I mean,
with
yeah.
patrons for the team, he wouldn't know that at all.
I mean,
he could probably I don't think took them ladies' passports. Try to take a black woman passport.
But
what?
All I'm saying is, like the man who's in the building every day is the team president who runs the operation, and that was I think Bruce Allen was the name.
Yeah.
And a lot of the women said he knew, like he would see them crying and things like that. They said he didn't partake in any of the actions, but he was the one that knew, like saw them every day, knew what was going on. So he's the one who should be held. I feel like he should be held more accountable than Dan Snyder. And he isn't with the team.
He gotta get the death penalty too.
I just think Dan Snyder's track record speaks for itself.
That's what I'm saying.
And
bro.
this is
He's
kind
a
of like
bad person.
Yeah,
I mean,
let's try to break the chemical.
Get that man out of there, please.
I feel like a lot of this also stems from the Redskins don't win anything. So there's just an inherent hate of Dan Snyder. I feel like he should face punishment as the owner of the team for allowing this culture to happen.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's on him to fix it and get it right and keep the team. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not even mad.
I don't think he should be forced to sell the team.
I'm not even mad about him cheating on football games, bribing teams. I mean, obviously he's not doing a good job of it. They going 3-13 every year. But it's the thing. I'm mad, bro. He knows. That's the thing. We know. He knows, bro.
So now I want to.
And if he doesn't know, which is a very unlikely scenario, he should know.
Okay.
And he has people in positions that enable him to do things that they talk about.
Yeah, but like I said, it still has to get passed up the ladder. He's not in the building every day. It's on the people who are in the building every day to tell him, this is what's going on, yada, yada, yada. Mm-hmm. Do something about it.
All right, so do you think he knows, yes or no?
In all honesty, I do not think he really knows. Bro, think about it, bro. Think about all the owners in the league, bro. These are all businessmen, entrepreneurs, things like that.
Yeah.
They're not concerned with the day-to-day operations of the team. They're concerned with their own businesses and making their bread that way so they can continue to pay for the team.
Is it weird
Okay.
she's even making money though? Honestly, are they really? Are they?
I mean,
are they turning out a profit?
Attendance is down, so that's probably why he be in his other adventures making money.
Yeah.
So, but I will say, what do y'all think of the response by the team to all of these allegations?
I haven't heard a response, honestly.
Well, I guess I know Ron Rivera was the first to respond to the allegations. He responded like day of. He's the head coach and he's basically the president of football operations. And he basically said, like, when he was brought in, it was his job to change the culture of the organization, turn it into a winning organization, an inclusive organization, all of that kind of stuff. So basically,
minority. That's good. That's good.
Exactly. And they hired him day of, interview job, just like that.
They hired him like he was working in.
Yeah,
he felt like that, bro.
He's that guy, man.
It's Cam Newton coming like that. Really. I mean, he had a system in place to help him succeed.
Yeah.
You see what he did with Kyle Allen. It wasn't as successful.
But I will say, Rivera said that sexual harassment and a toxic work culture will have no place in Washington. He also added that his daughter works for the team, and he sure as hell is not going to allow any of this to continue.
That's another layer of accountability.
And then he also said, like, Dan Snyder brought me here to change the culture and create an environment of inclusion among employees. And so, Rivera was the first to respond, kind of get in front of the issue for the team. And Snyder didn't respond until the day after. And basically his statement was a joint statement with his wife. And he said, on behalf of the organization, we want to apologize to each and every one of you affected by this situation. He also added, clearly there's work to be done to build a better organizational culture. We need to get better, and the time is now. And I feel like, I'll say he also added, we are committed to ensuring this organization is one that promises a high standard of personal conduct, while also representing the values of inclusiveness, respect, and diversity. And I will say, I feel like he means this.
I feel like he had a good publicist.
I mean,
a PR person that wrote that out for him.
I mean, you can say that.
Rivera or,
that second
Snyder.
statement came from Snyder. And I feel like he's being genuine. Think about what he's done so far. Even you can say he was crazy to do these things, but I feel like he's genuinely trying to change the culture of Washington. First of all, he hires Ron Rivera, fresh off the bat. He hires Ron Rivera and gives him control of football operations.
Yeah.
That's a lot of power. Minority head coach, and you're controlling football operations. That's a lot of power for a guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then he agrees to change the team name. You can say it was because of corporate sponsorships and things like that, but he's the owner of the team. He makes the ultimate decision.
I don't think he would have been able to have the team without changing the name, because FedEx is literally it's FedEx Field. Like their name is literally on that field. They have millions and millions worth of dollars would have been lost if he didn't change the name. So I can't really give him credit for that, because that's just a logical financial decision.
Yeah, but I mean, like, he was talking about changing the team name even before they pulled the stuff. Because, like, he was in talks changing the team name, like, right after George Floyd's killing.
Yeah, he was just talking about it.
I mean, the name been
the real deal, he was, like, looking at names, but all the names were trademarked. Like, he was in the process of trying to find a new team name.
Man, Dan Snyder wanted to change that name. It's been offensive since the franchise has been named. He could have changed it a long time.
Yeah.
You could have found anything to name, change the Washington Redacted. Because if you're offending somebody, because we're not a part of that community, so we're not able to delegate, how offensive something is.
Yeah.
If one person is offended by it, that should have been enough for you to change the name, because you're not knowledgeable on that topic and that culture. So obviously, different studies have shown, like that little bogus study that the Washington Post ran, that found that was not credible at all. But different actual academic studies that have shown that people in the Native American community are offended by this name, and I don't think. And you see those, like my man Van said, numbers don't lie. When you see numbers like that, and you still just dig in and you refuse, I can't give you a credit for the backing.
I mean, and for people to be acting like people of color are tripping, or people that don't like that name are tripping, it's like we're not even asking for them to take away the Cowboys name, because it's like Cowboys and Indians. That's the reason why they were named them two teams. So it's like we just simply asking, okay, that's offensive to a large group of people, not just like one or two. This is like, first of all, one or two should fix the problem anyways. But this is a big group, so it's just like, it's not like we asked for them to change the Cowboys or something.
Yeah, I guess we'll get into the name change a little bit now. So, like, I feel like a lot of the reason he didn't want to change the name is just like kind of what you hit on, like the history of the name. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like every Thanksgiving, you're gonna see the team from Washington and the Cowboys play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just kind of that history, that tradition, and everything that goes along with it. You know, the fight song and things like that. And I agree that all of it is offensive, but like I'm just thinking of what Dan Snyder was thinking when he didn't want to change the name. Because like this has been the team name for 87 years. He got the team in '99. And so, that's kind of like peak.
Jim Crow civil rights era,
What? 1999.
Oh, I was just 69. Man,
No.
my bad, bro. I'm tripping.
1999. So like that's like peak like
That's
NFC.
like, man, how like my man was.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, that's peak NFC West time. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that's when they were at the top. So
Yeah.
you kind of like keep that name, keep that tradition. And so I think that's kind of what he's thinking. Well, what he was thinking.
Yeah.
When he didn't want to change the name. But I genuinely believe that all the social change and things going on in America right now caused him to come to the realization himself that he needs to change the name. I don't want to look at him as just like a bad guy. I feel like everybody can change their mind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I feel.
That's a different perspective. We'll have to agree to disagree on this
Yeah, for sure. But like y'all said, corporate sponsors put a lot of pressure on him to change
Shout
the
out
name.
Fred Smith.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because, they own the naming rights to the stadium, and they said, they removed the name from the stadium if it wasn't changed. Remove FedEx from the stadium.
Yeah. Have you seen Olive Branch Field High School?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Fred
Fred Smith put them on for real.
Exactly.
For them to go
Hey,
10.
They jerseys? Oh, my God.
And they used to be stupid. I remember y'all had the pink camo joints. I mean,
we had pink camo jerseys?
Yes.
Man.
They go stupid with the jerseys.
But they
the Oregon of Memphis.
Yeah, bro.
For them to go 0-10.
Oregon, Mississippi.
Yeah.
Well,
What Tennessee got?
They got jerseys like that?
Yeah, bro.
In high school?
Yeah. Ain't nobody in Memphis got that.
Yeah, I can say that. Hey, let's think about it, dude.
Nobody in Memphis got
Those
it like
stupid
that.
jerseys?
Yeah, like that? No, nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
In Memphis,
We can let it ride.
Yeah. I can't think.
White Station.
put some respect on Olive Branch, DeSoto County. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, we're not respecting y'all, but we'll say
Why
y'all got
not?
nice jerseys.
Why not?
Yeah.
We did not respect y'all.
Okay, we did.
I mean, I would say
It should be an all-star game, bro.
Oh,
DeSoto County, Memphis all-star.
kind of.
DeSoto County, just DeSoto County versus Memphis. We'll wipe y'all.
No.
I'll
Like,
also
after a
add.
boo-boo,
The
like white.
Mississippi boys kind of different.
I mean, I'm
bro.
just saying. But
You said DeSoto County. You didn't say
Y'all-
Mississippi. You said
They ain't from DeSoto County, are they not?
You talking
It's the
about
same
one
thing.
the closest square of athletes to from Mississippi to Memphis.
I mean,
Now, once you get deeper into the SIP, for sure. Like, Oxford still right there, but get into lower Mississippi. To South
DeSoto
Mississippi.
County wins regardless, bro.
But before we get back to this, I will say there's a reason why Tennessee plays the Tennessee-Kentucky All-Star game and not the
Because
Tennessee.
Kentucky suck, bro. They don't got no athletes.
Chill out. Calipari, smack you.
How many players are from Kentucky on the University of Kentucky? Or University of
Like,
Louisville?
Thanks. That's how Calipari recruiting. But I ain't gonna lie, nah. Shout out to my Mississippi boys for real. They play some football. Not DeSoto County, but once you get out of DeSoto
All
County,
right, bro.
they'll play some football.
All right, bro.
And I ain't gonna lie, Oxford, the Grove that is the wildest tailgate. Or RIP the tailgate because we never had no tailgate this season. But that was the wildest tailgating spot I have ever been to. Man, them white people crazy.
Alright, but back to the Washington name change. So like we talked about the corporate sponsors, FedEx, Nike, Amazon, Walmart, Target, all of them getting involved in the name change. So I gotta ask y'all, like, what do y'all think?
The Glizzies.
Bro,
I'm
still
telling
walking,
you, bro.
like, bro, we
The
can't-
Washington Glizzies, bro.
You
Free
guys see-
Glizzies if they
Nah, I was
score
gonna say
42
like
points,
I thought he was playing, but now he said that on camera,
bro.
bro.
Free Glizzies if they score 42 points, bro. Free
This
Glizzies for
is
everybody.
off a perk today.
No,
You gotta
no,
be
relax.
the Washington
What?
Glizzies.
What?
The
Then
Washington
he said
Glizzies.
free glizzies for the whole crowd. Wow.
I
They
mean,
gonna
the
parachute
stadium
in.
only gonna be like 25% anyway, so that's not a lot of glizzy
Yeah,
you gotta
bro.
cook. But still,
You get a glizzy. You get a glizzy.
They gonna parachute down.
that's terrible. Bro. I'm
Shoot,
sorry, that's bad. That's
Get a
bad.
glizzy cannon, bro. That shit gonna be live.
That's bad.
Oh,
yeah.
getting popped in the face with glizzies.
Oh my god.
Man, a glizzy. Man, I gotta tell you this story. I'm gonna get off track or whatever. Man, I was in the club in Houston. Man, first of all, we gonna smack Tory Lane when we see him. But I was in the club in Houston, bro, with my partner, and we had a little sexual level, and he was, thrown off.
Yeah.
Man, son had a stack. He had a band. I think it was like all 20s, and he threw it. It was a girl we knew too. I can't say her name because I still know her. He threw it at her and like hit her in the face with a rag in the face, and you could see the mark on her face. I was like, that's disrespectful. That's disrespectful.
That's about as disrespectful as getting free glizzies for seeing your team win.
And getting glizzies to the face from the glizzy cannon.
Yeah, that's a bad idea, bro.
Man.
So, you got any ideas for a new team name, bro? Because I think we might cut Vance out the rest of the episode.
Nah,
bro.
For sure. We're not going to watch it with the WG. I said the Red Tails, the historical significance of, that name.
Yeah,
I said the Washington Generals. Shout out to the Tuskegee Airmen. The Washington Generals, really anything besides something that doesn't offend people. It's a low bar, really.
Exactly, bro. And I like me personally, I'm a big fan of the Red Tails name. You go from something that kind of like ruins people, like hurts people, to something progressive. Yeah, exactly. People. And so I honestly, that's my favorite name I've seen so far.
What did you say was the betting favorite?
The betting favorite right now is the Red Wolves. I'm not a big fan of it. It's like has no connection to Washington.
XFL name.
Exactly. It's just a generic name.
Arkansas State.
Exactly, Arkansas State, bro. Like I just don't like it at all.
Be original.
Exactly, bro.
Not as original as you think.
I mean, why not, bro?
But I mean, like, bro.
If they named that team the Glizzies, I would literally bow down in front of them. Literally. If they named that team the Glizzies, bro.
If they name that team the Glizzies, you gotta eat a glizzy on the camera.
Ooh, big facts.
Okay,
a Sonic glizzy, bro.
Hey, I can agree to that because I don't think.
Go on, shake on it, bro. Shake on it.
Man, that's crazy.
It's not gonna happen.
I mean, it's not, bro.
No.
I'm gonna write a letter to my man Dan Snyder, bro.
If I see that they reveal and I see a hot dog, I'm gonna start crying, bro.
But real talk, bro.
Yeah, glizzies are made. I seen the little video, man. No,
not at all.
I'm good on a glizzy.
Not at all.
Now a red dog.
Oh yeah. Circle B.
That's
I'm there.
Shout out Uncle Penny, bro. We keep getting that money.
Exactly.
I see them commercials at least once a week. I don't even watch TV like that no more.
They're just frequent, bro.
For real.
So, we done talked about everything going on in Washington. So now let's take a bigger look at the league and what's going on. So, players were set to report to camp starting yesterday. Chiefs and Texans rookies reported yesterday. But Sunday, we saw a lot of player activism going on Twitter.
It got real when they realized how close the report day was.
Exactly. So you got guys like Drew Brees, Russell Wilson, Todd Gurley, Pat Mahomes, all the big names, tweeting with the hashtag, we want to play. But they're, tweeting out their concerns of returning to play with no plan of action.
Yeah.
And so, as of Sunday, the players did not know. They didn't know, basically when testing was going to be, what was going to happen if a positive test came up. And, they just didn't. Basically, they didn't know what preseason games they were playing. They had a lot of questions.
My question is so if nobody had tweeted out last night and there wasn't a big reaction from all of them, what was there going to be the plan? Was there going to be a plan of action from the NFL? Did it really take all your stars to be like, hey, bro, what are we doing for y'all to really come together and make a plan to keep people safe?
They're trying to make money, bro. They don't care about them.
Exactly, bro. Because as of Sunday, the only thing the NFL had done was cancel 2 preseason games. And they said that the season would progress as planned. That was all they told the players.
Wow. That's crazy.
Exactly.
Y'all show up. We'll work it out.
Exactly.
Man. No.
And, they also added the stuff try to space your lockers out, stuff like that. But you already built a locker room with them.
Yeah, you can't space that out.
Once you tackle somebody, it's over.
Exactly.
What social distancing are you affected by tackling somebody?
And to be honest, bro, I think this is just a bad look for the NFL. Well, it was a bad look for the NFL.
I also think it is because it shows a lack of proactive action, a lack of accountability that your players are constantly having to force you to change first. With the Black Lives Matter movement, with the video that they created to basically force Goodell to say something.
Yeah.
And then now with I stutter so hard. With them having to come out and get on social media to engage in you and have a plan, they have a whole players association for that.
Exactly.
And it takes up into the midnight hour to really for some change and a plan of action to be created.
Exactly.
So I think the NFL is slacking.
And they had a whole 4 months to come up with the plan. Bro.
A whole 4 months. And a whole draft. They just had a whole draft.
Exactly. And so, like I said, but anyway, the NFL has come up with something. They came out with a couple of things to, I guess relieve players. They came out with this yesterday. So what's going to happen is the players are going to receive daily tests for the first 2 weeks of camp. They will also, players will need more than one negative test before being allowed to enter team facilities. So basically what's going on is as players report, they get that first test, they go home, they do 2 days of basically installs from home, on Zoom and stuff. Then they come back on that 4th day to get that second test.
Whoever owns Zoom is making a lick.
Yeah.
A lick.
Yeah. And so, if those 2 tests negative, they're good to go, report to facilities and all of that. And so they also put a plan in place for how testing will look looking forward and how to, handle a positive test. And they also stepped it up a little bit and the NFL offered the NFLPA 0 preseason games in 2020.
Yeah, that was literally all before we recorded.
Yeah.
But, like you kind of pointed out on camera, don't you think that at least, because, the 80 to 90% of the league is, unsigned guys, fringe guys. Yeah. So I think that a lot of the PA will fight for at least one, showcase game or, dress rehearsal game.
I don't think they got to fight for it because that's what they was offered. They don't even have to take that.
You're right. Okay.
Because, I would say a lot of players, but when I say players, I'm talking about, the big name guys. Yeah. The Mahomes is them. They don't want a preseason at all.
It doesn't serve them.
Exactly.
They're a small percentage of the league.
Exactly. Because you got to think about, you go into training camp, you have a 90-man roster in training camp. Season come, you at, I want to say 55. 53. And so that's, 37 guys that...
Good math, White Station.
That's 37 guys that are either going to become practice squad guys or...
regular jobs.
Exactly. Well, they still chasing their dream or whatever, but still, you got to do something to benefit these guys.
Yeah.
And so what do you think about, just what should be done to help out, the undrafted free agents, the veteran free agents, and, the late round draft picks?
I think just keep it at, if the season's going to go on as playing, normal scheduling, I say keep it at 2 preseason games. Just tell the starters, you can basically tell them if you want to, if you think you're comfortable enough with not playing, you don't got to play. Yeah. So you already know all the, 3rd stringers, 4th stringers, practice squad guys are going to want to play. But it would be the first stringers, the all pros, the superstars, they're going to be like, nah. Or they can be like, I just want to play a quarter, and they should be fine with that. Yeah. Okay, you're serving your players.
Yeah, I agree with that. And so, also I want to add, do y'all see a situation happening where they, limit the number of people that can come to training camp?
I know it's kind of reducing the roster size?
I don't see a purpose.
I think it'll probably be too late because they got people already reporting back.
Well, yeah, you're right.
To change the roster ramifications.
All the people up in the bubble ain't nobody tests. Nobody tests the pot. It depends on how the NFL is running it. Ain't testing every day, but it doesn't seem like they restricting them from going somewhere.
Yeah, but normally with camp, you kind of stay at camp. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I feel like when you get into the daily NFL grind, you're going to have to get back to testing daily.
Imagine you, the Tennessee Titans, you got to fly to Los Angeles to play the Chargers.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
travel and
people that you come in contact with.
Because, that's why I'm saying, because it's the Cowboys have training camp in Cali, don't they?
Yeah.
So,
I know, ZB. Geeked. Yeah.
What do you say? I'm low-key faded right now?
Oh, my God.
Faded in the booth.
Best RB in the league.
Shoot.
I stand by that.
Need to sit down by it.
Going down my squad.
Need to sit down by it. Sure.
But,
you've been wilding.
I can't believe that. That was just I had something I was going to say, and that just...
I seen it in your face, too. You was like, yo, dude, wilding.
Numbers don't lie, bro. Numbers don't lie.
If that's what you believe, bro,
he give you the crazy person argument.
I'm just on God, that's all you. I'm not gonna fight it.
Right.
All right, bro. What's the next topic? What's the next topic, bro?
Okay, bro. Can you relax?
Yeah, I'm relaxed. Y'all the ones dissing Zeke, bro.
I'm not dissing him, bro.
We're just letting you feel. We're letting you feel your emotions.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate
it. All right, bro.
Dude, crazy. Next topic, yeah.
I got you, bro.
said.
So anyway, bro. It's also, I will say, there are a lot of big name free agents still available.
Hold on. So Zeke over Derrick Henry, you roll so hard.
They both my favorite teams, bro. So I really don't care. They both top 2.
I'm not gonna lie, I'd take Zeke over Derrick.
I mean, they both cold.
I don't know.
I mean, Derrick Henry is very one-dimensional.
For one
but he's
game?
exceptionally one-dimensional.
That one dimension is unstoppable.
Can carry you.
But Zeke,
Can carry you.
I think he's most definitely a
It'll
top
be- it'll-
3,
it'll-
5 back in the league.
it'll
But
win that
best back
shot.
in the league, I don't think so.
Man, we're gonna not act like Vance Law is more hydrated than me.
You're entitled to your opinion. Make sure you drink your water.
Oh, God.
Slimy
this
that
is
John. Slimy that John.
Kirkland Purified 4 levers.
Not playing no football no time soon, but it's best to stay hydrated.
So anyway, I want to see how y'all think about this.
Yeah.
Like, how should the NFL handle an opt-out clause? Like, do you think players should be able to opt out for
Yeah.
the season? And if they do, like, how should they do it? Like, should that count? Should they still be paid like their regular?
Salary?
Yeah.
I think it could be a percentage marked down with
Oh, yeah.
20-30% because you're literally being paid to do nothing.
Yeah, but what about, like, all them guys who guarantees? And think about, like, guys like Yannick Ngakoue who got hit with the tag.
I don't want to see
So
how
you-
many guys really will opt because football is a unique sport. It's not basketball. Like longevity is scarce. The average running back career is 3 years. So I would, because that year of football, football players age like dogs. So,
But it's also
that 1 year that could translate into a whole other host of factors affecting your free agency.
Yeah.
You can come back rusty. So.
I mean, you can also come back and then you still be rusty
Yeah.
after taking all that time off. Because it's not like basketball. We could go hoop down the street or something. Like, you actually got to throw it on the
With the
pads that
pads.
first week back, bro. Your
It's a
shoulders
different
are
feeling.
so tired.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my
Man.
God.
Because, like, I also want to look at it from, like, a players opting out as a form of a holdout. Do you think, like, that should it work that way? Like, think about, like, Yannick Ngakoue in Jacksonville who got hit with a tag but doesn't want to play in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
So do you think, like, if he opts out, that's going to count as, like, that year on the tag? You
I
know
think
what I'm saying? And then he can hit free agents.
Any guaranteed money you have, you should be able to get it. I mean,
Yeah.
that's for anybody. But in his case, I feel like it should be served as like a red shirt, basically. So, like, you can keep that tag, and then on the next season, you have to...
you have to play for that team, pretty much.
Yeah.
So just rolling it over, basically.
I mean,
Yeah.
bro.
I kind of agree with that, but at the same time, like, I feel like that just takes all the leverage away from the players because, like, guys normally hold out. So it's just,
I mean, people, they can still hold out, but what leverage would you really have? Because not a lot of guys are getting long-term deals right now. I mean, allegedly, if you're not like an all-pro,
yeah,
a long-term deal is not in your future right now. So
yeah.
would you really want to risk it, upsetting management by holding out? Would
I mean, but there are guys in bad situations not making the money they deserve. So they kind of need, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I for sure. I feel that.
But
You got to also be positionally where, like, running back, it's going to be a little tough for you out here right now.
Sure. I want that.
No, you good. I was just like, running backs are just crazy devalued.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was going to get into that. So, like, it's still a number of, top-level free agents still available on the market. We think it's Jadeveon Clowney, Devontae Freeman, Everson Griffin, Logan Ryan,
Man.
Barry Warford, who got
You named
waived
Bobo,
by
so
the
that's
Saints.
crazy.
Exactly.
Logan Ryan, the truth, bro.
He can't cover, but yeah, he's a
I
true.
mean, he's a nice
Niggas
slot.
be tough on those skill boys in the league.
Nickelback?
Did he just catch TB like last pick in the league?
Yeah, bro. He
Yeah,
was
he
nice.
had. I want to say he had 4 or 5 picks last year.
Right.
That
He
boy
got,
nice.
he got a long head, but dude, nice. I can't lie.
Right. I mean,
He a nickelback, bro.
For sure. That money back.
he's more. I have to call him a linebacker. Anyway, we also got Eric Reed,
But
Darquez Denard, Antonio Brown, Dez Bryant. All
you
of
said
them.
Antonio Brown's a free agent. He just
Hey,
retired,
come on,
sir.
man. I mean, I don't think he retired. This will be the 3rd time he's retired.
Great career,
Whatever drug him and Kanye on, I need that. They be spazzing.
Big thing. So, like...
I'm playing, Mom. I'm playing.
So, with some of these guys still available, like, can you see any of them getting picked up by teams? And, like, if you can see them getting picked up, like, who you think they're going to land with?
I can't see Clowney last to the beginning of the season. There's just too much raw talent there.
Yeah.
he's too versatile. He can play 3-4 outside linebacker. He can put his hand in the dirt. There's just too. I mean, I know he didn't have the best season in Seattle, and he can be injury prone, but somebody in DC can get that piece and really change the defense.
How much would you pay him?
Clowney, to be honest.
Considering that he hasn't really the pass rush numbers don't really pop like they're supposed to, like that, especially coming out of South Carolina and being the number 1 pick. But I think Clowney could get at least a solid $6-7 million.
Yeah.
Man,
You know how much he want?
how much?
He wanted 20 at first.
Yeah.
But
That's probably why he's still a free agent.
But
he about 16 right now. You can work him down, maybe.
I think if I'm going after Clowney, I'm going that.
He's not rushing.
I'm going 10.
When's the last time he recorded a double digit? Does he have a double digit sack?
I don't think he's had one since he left Houston.
He a dominant player, but he more like he's run.
I'm saying
exactly.
that does not pay. He's first and second down.
But I mean, he pretty important. Bro.
I mean, like I will say, like
you had to pair him with like a good pass rush, honestly, to really.
He's not so dominant to where he's just beating double teams consistently because he's still getting double teamed. Like everybody knows, like if we single block him, he gonna disrupt the game.
Yeah.
So I feel like either you pair him with somebody nice, or you just live with the fact that he's a guy that can draw a double team, affect the run game, and still pressure the quarterback, even though he isn't getting those sack numbers. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think he's gonna get the money he wants.
He's not. He's definitely not.
Mid-season, he's just gonna sign with a contender.
Yeah, I can
for cheap.
I just don't see him sitting till mid-season because, like, I feel like
that's what I'm saying.
I feel like with teams reporting to camp, you finna see what you really got.
Honestly, the closer gets
like,
to the start of the season, I need some pass.
Exactly. I think like a situation like Tampa Bay. You had Shaq Barrett blow up. Like,
okay.
Can you really count on Shaq Barrett to do it again? Like, you get to camp and Shaq Barrett just looking mediocre again. So you like, man, we need pass rush. We got Tom Brady. We got to win right now.
Yeah.
You know what? Let me call Davion Clowney.
Yeah,
I think that's what's gonna happen.
That would go the thing with like pairing him with another, serious pass.
I mean, they done that before. I mean, they had him and J.J. Watt. Did they ever get past the wild card?
No.
Did they?
No, they didn't. They didn't. Well, I mean, like, I just feel like that's the situation Clowney fits in best. And
Pittsburgh with him, T.J. Watt, Bud Dupree, that'll be a nice.
Are they a contender?
I mean, I was gonna.
That's a defense, though. That's a good defense.
It is. I do.
I like to see Clowney in Tennessee. That's my. If I had to pick someone for Clowney, I'm going Tennessee. Him or Everson Griffin.
Yeah. Really though, Everson Griffin probably
he better than Clowney.
I'm about to say,
Everson
a lot
Griffin,
more money.
I would say Everson Griffin had 8.5 sacks last year.
How much you think he gonna win?
Didn't he make the Pro Bowl last year too, or something like that?
He was a Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
I think Griffin's gonna get that 10-12.
Why they let him go?
They just couldn't pay him. They couldn't pay him what he wanted. And I want to say he's over 32. I want to say he's 31.
He that old?
Yeah.
What college you went to?
USC. That does sound right.
I'm not 100% sure.
Anyway,
because they let him go. They got Daniel Hunter for the Vikings.
Well, yeah.
Who the other free agent?
I mean, we got Devontae Freeman.
How much he?
Dude left his face.
Bro, I mean, I think I'm not gonna lie. Devontae Freeman fell all the way off.
How much does he want? Though?
I remember he wanted over $10 million.
That's a whole grown man's laughing at.
10 million.
No, he is bad.
10 million.
He for sure bad.
Yeah. I might would get him 5. Bro, you can find a rookie, bro. You can find somebody.
Exactly.
Running backs, bro.
A dime a dozen. They going like Cutco now.
Exactly, bro.
Some running backs.
Like
make double, bro.
Devontae Freeman, he's just not that.
He's hot and spicy, really.
He get his production.
No, bro, he's not hot and spicy, bro. He's a McChicken, bro. You can only get hot and spicy certain places. He's a McChicken, bro.
Wow, man. Shout out McDonald's. Them hot and spicy have got me through some time.
Yeah. But
237. Thank you, man.
I mean, like, I remember the Seahawks tried to get him. He was like, "Yeah, I need more money than that."
I'm so dead, bro.
But like,
who need a back? Nobody. Like
nobody
really
desperate need.
Who needs a?
If anybody, Tampa Bay.
Is he top 15?
No. He has been top 15.
When last time he created 1,000 yards?
I want to say
his
2016.
Was that not his rookie year?
It probably was.
Where did Freeman go?
He went to Florida State. He came out of Florida State.
Yeah. With Jameis.
Jameis, Kevin Benjamin.
Because, I mean, he just doesn't have that pop, bro. You know what I'm saying?
He's the Evan Turner of the NFL. He just
That's NFL, though, bro.
He's got a lot of good things that he does.
You just call this man average, bro.
No, for sure.
No, he's
For sure.
very
He's
average,
like
bro.
he's the quintessential 5 out of 10.
Bro, he hasn't rushed for 1,000
He
yards.
can catch the back
since
out the backfield a little bit. He got a little speed. Look how things that. Ew,
Bro,
oh man.
he hasn't topped
We are
1,000
talking
since
horrible about this man.
2016. 2016 was the last time he rushed for
Well,
1,000.
give me
This past season, he rushed for 656, 2 touchdowns.
How many games do you play?
He played 14. He started 14 games.
with 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns.
I mean, they
Wait,
was
hold on,
behind
hold
a lot
on,
of them games,
hold on.
though.
Put Julio in running back.
3.6 yards per rush. bro.
Honestly.
3 point. Ooh.
He's
That
so-
O-line was poo, though.
He's so Sean Green. It don't make no
Bro,
sense.
I'm sorry to be so disrespectful to him, bro. But
10 million.
he's not top 20.
10K.
Mm,
Alright.
10K.
that's that Malik Monk juice right there.
Yeah, I mean, he's also had his
man.
own injury troubles, but
Vance
still.
is on one today.
I would say if I'm signing Devontae Freeman to my team, he's making 6 or less, bro.
Yeah.
6, 7 or
I'll
less.
probably pay him 5. I'll offer him 5. If he don't take that, I'll just go get somebody cheaper, bro.
Big facts.
He's gonna do the same production.
Big.
Who another free agent, bro?
This is the first
Logan
one.
Ryan,
He cold, bro.
but he's not cold.
I mean, he's not a starting corner, but if you put him in a nickel, bro,
I'm
he's gonna
saying,
carry.
you
I'm saying
He gonna carry.
he's versatile, bro. He's just not a coverage guy, bro.
Bro, he gonna do what he
He's
needs
not
to
a
do.
He's getting burnt. Remember when the Chiefs put over 200 yards on him alone?
Okay,
13 receptions over
I mean,
200.
Chiefs
I
did
was
that to
saying, what do you
everybody.
do? Who
No,
you
but
just say?
one person. We like the
Well, they got the best. They got the
It
best
doesn't
slot in the
matter,
game.
bro.
They got the best tight end in the game,
Bro.
the best quarterback in the game.
Bro, Pat Mahomes came out and said, "You see that 26 right there?
Mark.
Get the ball coming your way."
Oh yeah,
That's
just
essentially
like
what happened.
I
Sorry,
mean,
like
that's why
that.
we got Fulton. The Titans got him
Bro, but
in
I'm
the
saying,
draft.
I mean, yeah, but I want to say, I can't remember off the top of my head, but Logan Ryan gave up over 900 yards last year by himself.
Yeah, I mean, it's
He
still,
had 4 picks.
he's still nice though.
He's
He's
But
a
he-
solid player. He must want a lot of money. I think they just let him go.
Who's worse, him or Eli Apple?
Eli Apple,
I'm saying like,
garbage, bro.
yeah, for sure.
I mean, Eli Apple got a team right now.
Oh my God,
That don't mean
bro.
nothing. Eli Apple.
Eli Apple is a
Sure.
better cover guy than Logan Ryan. I'll stand on that.
No.
He's a better cover guy.
One's a boundary.
If it's an NFL draft and it's basically the top 2 on your draft board, who would you take?
I'm picking that up.
Oh
Give
my!
me Eli Apple.
I'm
I'm about
trading
to stop
down.
the recording.
Oh yeah, I picked it too.
But I'm just saying, like, Logan Ryan, he's a good player. He makes tackles in the box, gets the sacks, like I said, gets some picks, but
Sound like you're describing Landon Collins, honestly.
sure. But he just can't cover, bro. In the NFL, with the spread offenses going on, you got to be able to cover, especially if you're playing in the nickel, bro.
Okay, who's the next free agent?
Larry Warford, bro. This is a guy I like, too.
That's
Offensive guard from the
I'm
Saints.
about to say he's definitely a move in the run game.
I like
Yeah,
him. He
bro.
free. He must be old.
They waived him. He's 26.
That's it.
Yeah.
He recently did a good draft. He
Yeah.
made a Pro Bowl
'Cause
recently
remember-
too, huh?
Yeah, I want to say he made it last year.
They
but-
drafted that center though.
Yeah, Cesar Ruiz, and then they cut Warford. So
Man,
I think he could go anywhere in the league and be straight. Bro.
Yeah,
yeah, he got position flexibility too. He can play
Exactly.
both guard positions and center.
Exactly.
That's
He's a good interior lineman. He
that's
might lack a little bit in pass pro, but run game. If your run game's struggling, you need to bring.
And that's what
Yeah,
that's
they're
what
both
your guard really for anyway.
Exactly.
Your tackle's really supposed to handle your premier edge rushers, but yeah, B to B, yeah, you can get you some big dogs.
Exactly, and that's a big man. And so those are all really like the big names.
I think he had wearing glasses though. That was throwing people off. People that we get discriminated against. Oh, I mean, hold on, bro. I gotta go on a rant, bro. People that wear glasses, we get discriminated against, bro. Like we're like looked at as soft. Like that's like it's from real rap, bro. Like I'm really spilling to y'all, and y'all not taking it serious.
You are, bro.
I'm low key getting offended. You feel
Listen,
me?
Josh. I see you.
Man, son just hit me with a stepdaddy hand. Man, it's a pandemic out here. It ain't COVID, but people. I'm tired of the glasses disrespect. I really wear this just to be smart.
I rock
To look
glasses
smart.
too, bro.
I have never seen you wear glasses while we record this podcast.
I wear contacts right
Yeah, I work.
Look at you. You're part of this. You're part of the problem.
No,
now. No, I'm not. I rock glasses.
We're starting
bro.
a Me Too movement for glasses, bro. Make glasses cool again.
All right, bro. You gonna be the only one in that movie.
Bro, I don't care. I've been rocking solo. I'm
There ain't
tired.
nothing wrong with glasses. I respect you.
It's
bro.
a stigma attached. You can't tell me.
You want me to wear them next week? I got
Yeah,
you, bro. I got
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
I don't even own glasses no more.
See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. And cause you feel me, making your moves, they not respecting no. If you out here in the club, you're not getting respect with glass. You not getting no play with your glasses on.
Alright, bro.
I'm telling you,
Alright, bro.
Look at, bro. This is the quintessential essence of the problem I'm talking about.
Bro.
The disrespect that this man just laid up on me.
But onto a man who could use some glasses to help him see clearly, bro. What do y'all think about AD retiring?
Man, did you see that boy? Man, hold up, pause. I know you picked the transition. That was crazy. Man, but yeah, crackhead for sure, a crackhead.
I don't know.
He been chilling, bro.
I feel like
crackheads be chilling too sometimes, bro. So
I'll tell y'all what he said, bro. He said, at this point, the risk is greater than reward. Thank you, everyone who's been a part of this journey. I sincerely thank you for everything. Life goes on. 84.
How many times are you gonna retire before you take him serious?
This is third one, but I feel like this is just I feel like this retirement is I don't want to play this season, but hit my line next season type thing.
It's really just a get my name in that paper move. I can't lie.
I'm not gonna lie though, but I just saw something about him and his trainer had ramped up workouts as training camp approaches. So I feel like I can see it as a publicity move. Hey, I'm still out here. I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say I'm ready, but I'm ready.
Yeah. I mean, he'll always be ready, bro. He one of them dudes gonna be in shape for the rest of his life, bro.
Yeah. Nah, he is. I think I seen the little PFF stats too. He's had the top two best receiving seasons for I think in 2016 and 2015.
I'm not gonna lie. Last season he was the best receiver in the league, and he wasn't even in the league.
Wow.
He was.
Bro, I mean,
hold up,
bro, listen.
Wow.
Bro, at the end of last season, he's still the leader in touchdown reception since 2016.
That's crazy.
What is that, dog? He get open.
He for sure get open.
And like I told y'all before, best route runner I've ever seen.
I agree, bro.
You talking about this a lot, Cam Wood. Give me your top 5 route runners.
Top 5?
Yeah.
Here's the thing, bro. When you talking route runners, a lot of people want to say he's not even that good of a receiver, But anyway, AB, I know he ain't in the league, but he number 1. Odell, he up there. I don't know where I'm going to put him at yet, but he up there. Got to go with Devontae Adams.
Yes, release game going crazy.
Stephon Diggs, I really like the way he run his routes.
And
I got to go, this might be a shocker, but Calvin Ridley.
Wow.
Hey, Alabama Calvin Ridley, bro.
I think Jerry Judy going to make that list really soon. I can't lie.
That boy's so cold.
Jerry Judy, ain't lie. His startability is the craziest thing I've ever seen in the athlete.
And you know what, bro? I got to change my list, bro. I'm taking Devontae Adams off. I'm putting Keenan Allen on.
I like that.
Keenan Allen.
I would put Keenan Allen on before Calvin Ridley, though.
No.
I'll take Calvin Ridley.
You didn't see that video of Calvin Ridley running routes, running them one-on-ones, bro.
I did.
He
different, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. He different.
Keenan Allen, low-key, the best slide in the league besides him.
I wouldn't even call him a slide. He's just a receiver. Yeah. Whatever you need, he got it. Yeah. Whatever you need, he got it.
You know who is top 10? A.J. Brown.
A.J. Brown ain't touched the field since 2016. Or about
2016. You talking about A.J. Green.
You said A.J. Brown.
I was going to say, hold on, yeah.
A.J. Brown.
Did he have 1,000 last year?
Yeah, he had 1,000.
You got 2 teams, bro.
I ain't gonna lie, though.
Cowboys and Titans.
That's
bro, that's every sport. NBA, football. So you got the Grizzlies, Lakers, Cowboys, Titans.
Okay. That's another perspective.
Yeah, I like Memphis on my end.
I mean, it's just sad that Mississippi ain't got no pro sports team.
I know,
but
bro.
It is what it is. But you got to hop on the Memphis wave. Welcome to the city.
I mean, bro.
No, he looking from the outside of the gates for sure.
I was born in Memphis, bro. Ross Elementary. Shout out to them.
Look at trying to put a street cred
exactly,
out there. Yeah,
exactly. But while we talking about Memphis, bro, Memphis just gained a big commit last week.
Yeah,
Moussa Cisse.
Exactly. 5-star center.
Wow, that boy is about as black as their shirt. That is a dark brother.
Exactly.
That's all they was missing, bro.
You think that's it?
They,
so what do you think Moussa will bring to this Memphis team that's really
a big man presence, a James Wiseman presence that they was missing last season?
Chill. He's not gonna have any type of.
I'm not saying he is good, but like an inside presence, we didn't have one inside presence.
Yeah, just somebody to just man the paint.
Isaiah Marie soft.
Yeah.
Put in pop.
Bro, he
a pop. Bro, I feel like me and Josh could box him out, bro. I don't know.
We probably could.
I really feel like we could get
bored. I can hold him off.
Like, bro, he's 6'8", bro.
I'm just saying, this Moussa is like that in terms
of dominating
the paint.
I told y'all what I seen when he did versus Houston. the Houston point guard put up a floater from the free throw line, and he caught it and grabbed it in the air, and then dribbled it down the court and dunked it.
I mean,
Like,
I will say on the AAU circuit, Moussa had a 31 point, 22 rebound, 21 block game.
Yeah, bro.
That's dominance in the paint, bro.
AAU,
20
not a high
blocks.
school game where you playing, Little Billy across the street, bro. AAU game.
Exactly, bro.
Top
EYBL. Bro.
Yeah, bro.
No, he's gonna be paid $1 million to rebound and protect the rim.
Yeah, bro.
And he's gonna be a nice lob. Elo gonna have.
That's
so
what I was
much
gonna
fun
say.
with him.
Clint Capella, bro.
Yeah, I like that.
He's just gonna bring that, that juice to the middle, bro. Athletic center, run the floor, grab rebounds, block shots, and so
Who's the five right now?
it's
The
probably
starting
gonna
five.
Yeah.
be probably Alo.
I'll make Elo start. I think it'll be
maybe
six
Boogie.
man.
Well,
Boogie, Lester.
Boogie, Lester.
No, Boogie not gonna start,
Well, we know DJ gonna start. DJ, Dandridge.
bro. No, bro. It's about to be Moussa,
Moussa
DJ. That's two.
at the 4. DJ at the 4.
Orlando's Nolly if he get cleared.
Yeah, that's a big one.
See, that's the bottom three.
Yeah.
And 2 guards.
Between
I know
Boogie,
Lester.
Lester definitely gonna start. Bro.
Yeah.
He coming like
so
that.
Boogie, Alo, who's the
Boogie or Alo, we got.
Boy, I mean, don't Damian Ball. He nice though.
DB got that's if he wants a defensive group, him and Alo.
Yeah.
And then,
If I had to pick, I really think Boogie gonna start.
I'm glad you said DB too because he can play. He's not providing any offense. Think about it. Okay, Alo, DB, DJ, Nolly, and Moussa. Who's scoring on them? They already had the best field goal percentage last year.
Yeah, they about to go.
Who was scoring on that?
They need half.
You can really switch
That's
all of
really
those.
what they need.
But that's
And
DJ.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
DJ really will leave into the season if he does what he's supposed to do.
He could have left after last season if he didn't get hurt.
Yeah, bro.
That's an OB
Landers.
Hooper. OB Hooper.
OB, bro.
Yeah, look, put on for your hood, bro. Put on for Olive Branch. Fine.
That's so
I went to DeSoto Central, but shout out Olive Branch.
That's so ugly.
I reside at Olive Branch. It's not ugly, bro.
You got a tiger paw? What
I
is
don't
it?
know what that
It's
is.
an O, fool.
That's a piece of
It's an O.
batter or something. What is this?
I gotta hate, bro. That's all right, bro.
We not hating, bro.
Shout out to another game, Memphis East versus Olive Branch. When all the recruits, bro.
I remember that.
OB
did win. OB did win.
Yeah.
Okay.
I ain't go to that game, but I remember it.
We're gonna let Vance flex for the next couple minutes. No, Mississippi. He's not from the real part of Mississippi, but we'll let this.
What's the real part, bro?
Once you get
Jackson.
past Jackson,
I
Starkville.
resided in Jackson, though.
Wait, where you went to in Jackson? My partner.
Middlesex.
Oh, we talking about from the roots, bro. Once you go to school, that on. I'm gonna start claiming Houston if that's the case.
Why not, bro? It's your city. You reside there, bro. You can claim H-Town. I ain't gonna hate on.
Y'all gonna be mad at me. Houston don't got no culture though, so I couldn't.
Hey, they do though. It's kind of lit, bro. I love Houston, bro.
I mean, no homegrown culture, bro. Like they just kind of just take bits and pieces of every other city.
Swinging and banging. That's Houston culture.
Oh yeah, all that lean. Yeah, you right. That lean.
I love you, man. Get well soon.
Man, I got the fave for Tory Lanez, bro. Like real talk. Like I ain't like you only 5. Basically, I found out how tall you was. I'm gonna do you like this, bro. Like no, ain't. All that, I was so rocking with you so much for the Instagram lives, but I ain't gonna lie, you just shot my baby.
Put him up against a locker like a bully.
Give me your lunch money. Give me your studio money.
Who your favorite Tiger ever?
Favorite Tiger?
All right. You can't pick D Rose and CDR.
My favorite Tiger, Chris Crawford. Chris Crawford, Joe Jackson.
I was gonna answer Joe Jackson for sure. Adonis Thomas, that's my cousin, but Joe, because
I mess with Chris Crawford.
It's the pedigree, bro.
Chris Crawford was a shooter though.
Not for real.
Bucket.
He was a shooter, bro.
No, for real.
Certified bucket, bro.
I'll probably say Joe or Adonis. I think he underachieved a little bit here. But, it is what it is.
Man, that's not his fault, bro.
It was
Josh
past his fault.
bro.
Yeah.
Will
Will Barton, he was.
I forgot about Will the Thrill.
Will Barton. That boy was 6'6", 110 pounds.
Jumping out the gym.
For real, though.
Jumping out the gym.
Shaq Goodwin.
Bro, DJ Stephens. We want to talk about
Man! Oh, no! That was a good answer.
I'm not
man.
gonna lie, bro. Like,
Duh.
when I was younger, bro, I thought DJ Stephens was a center, bro. And then I see him sign on the NBA roster. I'm like, a guard?
6'5".
A guard? What? He was
Nah,
playing
dude.
center in Memphis.
Okay, he was. At 6'5".
Yeah,
Yes.
bro.
At 6'5", like, jumping out the gym.
Crackhead knees, bro.
I was like, what,
Can't
bro?
feel your kneecap.
Swap DJ Stephen knees with D-Rose. Not to let that marinate,
Go,
bro.
Go.
Nah, for sure.
Bro.
That man has a 50-inch vertical. He was playing
Stupid.
the 5
At
in college
6'5".
at 6'5".
Stupid. I was so confused, bro, when I saw him playing like on the wing.
I remember when he first got into the summer games.
Exactly. That's when I saw it.
Why Cub running the wing?
Exactly.
What?
Get down, get in the
Oh,
post.
man, what? Get down in the post, my boy.
Exactly. So who
I
your favorite?
might have to change the gist.
I'm sticking with Joe Jackson at White Station.
The person that got me into college basketball was Darius Washington when he missed a free throw when I was a kid.
How do you? That's such a horrible memory.
Bro,
that's what you choose to hang your head on.
That was the first game I
That's
ever
because
sat down and watched. Bro.
That's because he's from OB.
Bro, I was living in Memphis when it happened, bro. That's all I'm saying. I remember I sat down and watched that game. That was the first game I ever watched, bro. That man was crying at the free throw line.
I do remember that.
So, I mean, I gotta ask you this then. Since you mad at him for missing free throw, what do you think about Derrick Rose missing that free throw against Kansas?
I cried in the closet.
Y'all not giving
a
up.
lot to you, bro.
I'm gonna start crying right now. Y'all really bringing up bad
You cried
memories.
in the closet, bro?
In the closet?
Oh my god.
Let me scoot my seat up a little bit. I don't know, dude. Tweaking.
Wow.
Man, I don't know what's
This
up.
is an open area, bro.
You right,
Yeah,
Joe.
I was just messing with you, bro, because I was like, why you can't cry in front of your people?
I was about to say, like, what did it really have to go?
I didn't want to
in
see
the
them.
closet?
I didn't
Because,
want
like, you
to
go in the
see me,
closet, bro, like, is your mental health okay, bro?
Yeah.
That's what it becomes a
He,
question.
he played that Logic
I
song
was
in the
sad.
closet.
Bro, the game was won.
Not gonna lie, my mama,
If
mama
D-Rose hit those free throws,
she did not go to work the next day because of that game. Man, y'all, I'm gonna start crying right now. Man, I remember that play like yesterday.
Memphis ain't been the same since, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Honestly.
So before we get too emotional, I'm just gonna go on and
Yeah,
close
please
it
stop,
out.
please stop.
Yeah, we finna go on and close it out. We finna have a private cry session, you know, about all the pain we go through as Memphis fans, all the missed free throws, the missed kicks, the drop
The
pass.
dribble handoff, bro. Who is Mario Chalmers? Nobody knew Mario Chalmers was.
Exactly, bro.
Dribble handoff.
The drop
From
pass.
like 35 too, bro. Now he banged it. Pause. But, man.
The drop pass against Temple, all of that. We just finna let all our Memphis pain go once we get
Bro,
off
that
camera.
wasn't even a drop pass.
So,
bro.
exactly.
I'm
bro.
saying.
So, you know, just make sure y'all like, subscribe, you know, leave some comments, some sad faces in the, you know, in the comments for us. We'll be alright.
Drop the little M emoji too. We want to see
Exactly,
that. Drop the
We'll be alright. Y'all stay
Hopefully.
safe out here. Corona's still
Wear a mask.
Drink
Wear a
the
mask.
water.
Exactly.
Drink some water too. Stay hydrated.
And we out of here.
Yeah. How long that was?
An hour.
Man, that shit. And we're gonna have a little interview with Cameron. Straight too. Man, that shit did hurt my